with my Totoro mug and beauty dust with Bustelo. So delightful. This morning I did Blogilates has a new quick burn routine that is an inner thigh one that is quite burny. And then I did my skincare routine. Still loving that Bioderma. I'm just about out of it, however, so I will transition on to the next European sunscreen. FYI, if you're new here, I've been testing out some sunscreens from Europe that my friend in the Netherlands kindly sent me. Most of them are from France. And I'm really enjoying them. Those have some filters in them, namely Tinosorb, which are not FDA approved here in the United States yet. We're so slow, but offer more stable and longer lasting, I suppose you could say. Yeah, longer lasting, but still need to be reapplied. UVA protection. UVA is the wavelength that penetrates deeply into our skin and ages and rages. A note about UVA though that I want to make sure I say, I've said before, but I got some comments the other day that made me want to say it again because I know we have some new people here, welcome. UVA guys, while it can contribute to a sunburn, it doesn't do most of the skin burning, okay? The skin burning comes from UVB, and sunscreens do a pretty decent job of protecting us against UVB, okay? Sunscreens in the United States I'm talking about, or anywhere, but sunscreens do a pretty good job of that, okay? That's what the SPF reflects, FYI, is that, okay? The ability to protect against burning UVB, okay? UVA, however, penetrates deeply into the skin, can to a certain extent contribute to a sunburn, but it contributes to tanning, okay? So people who say, hey, I wore sunscreen, I didn't burn, but I got a tan. How is that possible? Well, it's possible because you did not reapply, you didn't apply it adequately, and you didn't use adjuvant sun protection, such as a broad-brimmed hat and long sleeves, okay? And the reason I say this is because the UVA filters in our sunscreens, particularly here in the US, but everywhere, degrade with time and need to be reapplied, plus you sweat them off. Okay, so the presence of a tan while using sunscreen to me indicates that the sunscreen was not used properly and was not used with adjuvant measures, because you shouldn't tan if you're sun protected. Tanning is not healthy, okay guys? Tanning is a wound to the skin, okay? It's never a good thing to get a tan, FYI, it's never a good thing. So I discussed that in my sunscreen Q&As, I think. I definitely discussed sunless tanning products, so make sure you check out those videos. But anyways, still loving the Bioderma, by the way. But book update, I finished September, Rosamund Pilcher's September this week on audiobook. It was really enjoyable. And now I don't have an audiobook and I'm kind of like, you know, those little moments of time where you're doing tasks and you need a soothing voice and you've been listening to the narrator of September and now it's no longer there. And it's just like, it's like a breakup almost, or something, like there's an absence in your life. So I need a good audiobook, but I'm close to the end of Great Expectations as my physical reading book. I'm really enjoying that. And you guys know that my mom and I are watching Downton Abbey, and we just finished season 1. I know I'm late to the game, and so I thought I would brush up a little bit, or try to brush up a little bit on my World War I history. Admittedly, that is one of those things, history and geography for me, that, you know, it's like if you don't use it, you lose it, okay? I mean, that holds true with anything. And I'm really embarrassed as to how much of my world history, that knowledge that I have lost over the years just by not brushing up on it from time to time. So I got this book, and it actually looks pretty good. And I've been kind of skimming the first few pages and reading it and brushing up, and it's actually really good. If you're at all into history or anything, it's called A History of the Great War, World War I and the International Crisis of the Early 20th Century, by Eric Dornbros, by Oxford University Press. This is a professor from Drexel University. This is like basically a textbook, but it reads like a novel almost. So it's kind of easy reading, but what I like about it is that it's got maps. I'm a very visual person. I'm decent with geography, but I'm not fantastic. And again, it's one of those things where you're like, I don't look at maps all day. So I'm definitely not as good as I was, you know, in high school and college with my geography, and that's embarrassing. So this book, I've only read the first 10 pages, but I'm really enjoying it because it presents a very global view of what was going on at the time, not just necessarily, it's not Eurocentric, it's not focused exclusively on Germany, France, and Britain and Italy. It focuses on Asia, you know, everything that was going on at the time, and it doesn't exclusively focus on military development, although it goes into that a little bit as well. And it also, you know, elaborates on some of the dilemmas with the advancement of how quickly technology was advancing, but how to use it, kind of gaps in knowledge were there, and that led to some problems. So it's really, really a good book. Last night I went back to H Mart because I want to film a recipe video for you guys this week with those enoki mushrooms, but I ate them all, so I had to go back to H Mart to get some more enoki mushrooms. And I also picked up a few other things, so let me show you what I got. So these are the enoki mushrooms. I really am loving these, and I hope to share a recipe with you guys of how I've been using them because you asked for that. And then I also got, this is sliced lotus fruit. Okay, disclaimer, if you happen to watch my Disney vlogs when I went to Disney World, there is a scene, listen to me, as if my life is some sort of a mini series on PBS. There is a scene in one of those episodes where I'm eating in Skipper's Canteen is the name of the restaurant in the Magic Kingdom. I'm eating a vegan Asian noodle salad, and I say, I'm not exactly sure what these are, but they look delicious. And everyone who watches that video always comments, they're edamame, because there was edamame on the salad. Now, I absolutely know what edamame is, but that wasn't what I was talking about in the video. I was talking about these. These were on it, and I went back to my hotel room that night, and I was like, what are Asian slices that look like stars, that look like flowers? And I came up with, oh, it's lotus fruit. Okay, so this is lotus fruit. It's basically like a root vegetable, but they're so cool looking. So I got some that are pre-sliced and packaged, but then I also wanted to expand some of my culinary knowledge and skills, and actually bought the whole lotus root. These come, I just got this one, but they actually come joined like pop beads. They're really cool. So we'll see what trouble I get into with that, but I thought this was kind of like the lotus root training wheels to go with the packaged one in advance. But anyways, then I got some more of this gum that I really love. This is the Lote sugar-free aloe gum. This is honestly the best chewing gum I've ever had, and so I grabbed some of that. And then I impulsively purchased this, and I'm glad I went with that impulse. I'm not really a candy eater. I don't eat candy. I don't really have a sweet tooth or anything. However, I like to kind of suck on hard candies sometimes at the gym because I find that it just kind of is a slow release glucose for a long run, and I enjoy that. These are wonderful. They're not sweet at all. They're almost kind of like a hybrid between a candy and a cough drop, and they have a really nice taste. I can't quite explain it, but I suspect there's a little bit of menthol in there, kind of like a cough drop, but they don't have that disgusting cough drop taste. So I'm glad I went with that, mamos. Then my mom loves Wasabi Peas, and so I noticed when I was over there last, she was running low, so I got her some more Wasabi Peas. I also got some Kikkoman rice vinegar to bring my salads to life. And I got some roasted black sesame seeds to play around with by Shiri Kiku. And then I also got, this is barley tea for making borichai tea. I think I'm saying that right. This is really good. I had never had it, but I've always wanted to try it, and I have been drinking it. I drank some yesterday and really liked it a lot, but it's really good, okay? It's like roasted barley in these tea bags. The tea bags, as you can see, are quite a bit larger than American tea bags, and I just put one of these in my Bubba cup here. But I just put one in my Bubba cup here and covered it with hot water and let it steep for 10 minutes, and then I just drank it with the bag in there. It's really good. It's subtly sweet, I imagine, from the barley, but it's not It's not like a tea that you might traditionally think. It's really good. And I think it has all of these health benefits. I haven't read up on it, honestly, but it tastes fantastic. And my understanding is they give this to children in Korea. Am I correct in saying that? I think I read that. But, you know, you can't trust everything you read on the internet. But I believe, you know, it doesn't have any caffeine or anything. So I'm really liking it a lot. And after I brewed it, then I brewed another batch with the same tea bag. So it seems like you can get quite a bit of life out of the tea bag. I don't know if I'm doing that right, but yeah, that's everything that I kind of got at H Mart that I wanted to show you guys. But speaking of teas, update. All right, my mom doesn't like this thing, and so she gave it to me. You'll recall I was lamenting the fact that my pantry and tea bag storage thing is kind of a disaster. I believe she got this at the Container Store, and she just doesn't like it. It's okay. It doesn't seem to hold as much as I would like, but it's much better than what I had going, and I like that I can see what I have. But update on the tea. Okay, the Stash Red Velvet Cupcake is so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. This I got in my iHerb haul. And this is the first tea in that haul that I've tried, and I am so in love. This is by far one of my favorite Stash teas. It really does. It almost tastes like it has cream cheese frosting in it, okay? It is really good. Caffeine free. And another iHerb update, this Musclepharm Organic Protein Plant-Based Performance, I am really enjoying it, the vanilla flavor, and I went ahead and ordered another container of the vanilla on iHerb as well as a container of the chocolate to try. So I'm enjoying this quite a bit, and I recommend it from iHerb. Not my favorite store in the world, but we're here at Lowe's. My mom needs a light bulb.
Everybody. Happy Saturday.
Your hair looks really nice.
Yeah, I've got to get some of these babies.
Uh-oh. I'm over here looking at the paint chips, but because these have really good crafting potential, FYI. You know, these little paint samples. And they have so many pretty colors. It's like nail polish swatching. I like these Sherwin-Williams shades. This is kind of these are kind of the colors that I like on walls. Just nice, subtle and soothing. See, I don't think I would want this in a room. I guess this would be good in a child's bedroom, perhaps, but this looks a little frightening, although green is calming. But I don't associate this with the sort of calming aspects of green, whereas something like this, celery. Oh yes. See, I would love a room painted in celery.
Why was that complicated?
Yeah, it was really complicated. I mean, not straightforward at all. And if you're wondering, yes, my mom's apartment complex will change the bulbs for her, but they burnt out, this morning, and so they can't come and change them today because it's the weekend, and so we needed them for you all, basically, so you could see us.
Yeah, I hope that we can shine a light on.
We got the daylight ones, though, so you guys can comment on if how the lighting changed. My mom needed to get bananas, apparently, urgently, so I'm over here in Kroger looking at the Starbucks cups. Look how pretty this one is. Looking at these mugs, I like that one. I wish they made it bigger, though. You know me, I like my biggie mug.
Isn't that neat?
Hey, yeah. Those are pretty. I have to be careful. If you guys ever watch my, was it the vegan turkey loaf thing that I made one Thanksgiving? They're like little vegan meatloaf cups that have this tomato glaze on top. They're really good. But if you watch that recipe video, I look like my eyes are really red. It's because I had purchased flowers that day, and the pollen was really giving me a bad allergy reaction. So if you watch that recipe video, I'll try and find it and list it down below. I look like this. We watched that around Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, speaking of that Stash tea this morning, for those of you guys who may not know what red velvet cake is, here it is. You can buy it here. It's basically chocolate cake with a cream cheese frosting and red food coloring in it. They have vegan varieties of this as well, but I would assume the Kroger one is not vegan. Ooh, cannoli. This is one of my favorite desserts. I bet you could easily make this a vegan cannoli. When I was a child, I really loved these. They were a treat for me. Speaking of treats, we're in my passion section here, the produce. You got them? Well, guys, we're back, and my mom successfully installed the new light bulbs. I don't know, do you guys see a difference in the lighting? You like it? I think they're better, yeah. They're better.
It's cheerful.
I agree. And you're just whipping up some lunch. I wanted to show everybody how jazzy you are with your meal prep containers here. You've got, is this squash here?
Yes.
And then sweet potato and potatoes.
Yes.
And this look like sweet peas. And you've got some spinach there. And this is a sauce you made?
Yeah, all it is almond butter, apple cider vinegar, and a lot of that chili sauce.
Oh, will you show the chili sauce?
Yeah.
Do you have measurements or you just arbitrarily mix? Okay, so that's the recipe. Almond butter, apple cider vinegar, and chili garlic sauce mixed together to your taste. So if you want it more tangy, add more apple cider vinegar.
I was heavy-handed on the almond butter.
You never met a nut you didn't like.
No, I didn't.
And I just made myself a salad here. I've got romaine and sweet bell pepper. What are these called? Not sweet bell peppers. Snap peas. Some squash that my mom expertly chopped up. And some broccoli with some of her sort of spicy tahini. And some sweet potato and white potato piece there. Black-eyed peas, almonds, turmeric and garlic powder sprinkled on top with apple cider vinegar and nutritional yeast and a few almonds. So that's my lunch. And let's show yours. You've got it under the warmer here with your tea steep.
Spinach steam.
Well, you made a steamed spinach bowl with
Wasabi peas. And you can't really see, it probably looks icky, but it's got carrots, celery, broccoli, snow peas, zucchini, and also black-eyed peas in there somewhere.
Oh, you got some of the wasabi peas too.
Yeah. I'm getting my pea protein.
Yeah, the wasabi peas, I didn't realize this, but they come in these cute little baby packs. I like that.
I put a couple in my
You can just
purse.
open it up and pop it right in your mouth. That way you don't get the residua on your hands. I don't like eating things with my hands for that reason. I don't like the flavors on my hands. Yeah. I hate it when people lick their fingers. Oh, that grosses me out. Yeah. I don't care for that. It's not very sanitary. Yeah, I'm odd. I don't like eating with my hands. I prefer to eat with utensils. It's probably why I'm not a big sandwich person. I don't like them. It's odd. And I'm going to be donning my classy pal here. Hey guys, so it's the end of the day. My mom and I just went on a walk outside, and now I'm going to go for a run in her gym. But I just wanted to come on here and address a question that I get a fair amount in the comments about washing your face between sunscreen applications. So when I work out outdoors, I reapply sunscreen every 2 hours while I'm outside. When I work out in a gym, however, if I work out in a gym that then requires me to go outdoors after the workout, I reapply the sunscreen before leaving the gym, but I do not wash my face before reapplying the sunscreen. And the reason being that just washing your face washes off any prior sunscreen that you have remaining, and so I don't see any need to do that. But I can see how you may want to wash off the sweat. Fine. In that case, pay attention to your sunscreen reapplication. You're kind of starting from zero, even if it is a water resistant sunscreen, because you've sweat most of it off and you just washed your face. But anyways, these are the sunscreens that I like to use around working out, just because I think they go on really nicely. Well, this one in particular is the one I've really been loving and using personally, is the Elta MD UV Sport Broad Spectrum SPF 50. This is water resistant. I have yet to meet anyone who does not love this sunscreen. It goes on really well. All skin types seem to like it. It blends into the skin really well, does not leave a cast. It's a combination sunscreen. And so I like this one, honestly, for working out and for every day. I mean, this is a great everyday sunscreen. and that's what I typically use. This one, however, this Hamilton Gold Coast 2018 Active Family is the one that I leave here. My mom has actually stolen this from me. She really likes it. This is a chemical sunscreen that one of my viewers in Australia kindly sent me, and we both my mom and I really love it. It has the same filters that we have here in the US, but the formula is really nice. The vehicle, it goes on really nicely. So if you happen to be in Australia, I love this sunscreen, and I think it's nice, and you would enjoy it around working out. You absolutely need sunscreen in Australia. The sun is so potent there. In fact, most of what we know about sunscreen and why it's helpful comes from data from Australia, where the sun is quite potent and the skin cancer rates are quite high. So we learned a lot from Australia and from studies on sunscreen in Australia. So thank you, Australia. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm gonna run into the gym, and tonight my mom and I are gonna watch Downton Abbey. We were reading some of that book, the war book, so brushing up a little bit on history beforehand, and we also read a little bit of Dickens, really enjoying that, and yeah, now I'm gonna go to the gym, so I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.